Hey everyone, it's Linnea for LDRS Creative, and today I'm stepping outside of what I usually do for card making. I love to create cards with lots of dimension and foam tape and layers, but today I'm doing a one layer card. I'm going to be ink blending and stenciling and doing some masking as well. So to start with, I have the Grand Bouquet 5x7 stamps, and I will be using their coordinating layering stencils. And then I also have the pattern background stencils, which have become a huge staple in my craft room. There are 7 different patterns in this set, so you can pretty much be guaranteed that there's a pattern for whatever kind of project you're looking for. I have an A2 card panel, so it's 4¼ by 5½ inches. And I have some 1/4 inch masking paper strips, and I'm just going to be masking off each edge of my card. I'm sorry my head pops in the camera, but I am trying to be really careful to line up those strips with the exact edge of my card so that I know I have an equal border going around all 4 sides. Now I've placed that masked panel into my stamping platform, and I have the Grand Bouquet stamp so that it is going to stamp coming into my card. It's positioned off of the bottom left hand corner. I'm inking that up with Raven Hybrid ink, and I'm going to stamp that twice to make sure there's a good amount of ink on my panel, and then I'm working quickly and I'm grabbing my clear embossing powder and I'm just going to sprinkle that onto my panel and heat set that. I know that I'm going to be ink blending with the layering stencils using the same type of ink. I'm going to be using the LDRS Creative Hybrid inks both to stamp and to ink blend. So I need to trap that black ink underneath my clear embossing powder so that it doesn't reactivate with my ink colors when I'm blending. Here are the Grand Bouquet layering stencils. There are 3, and you're going to see that there's, on this first stencil, there's 3 layers to each flower. So that top is for flower 1, and then the bottom is all for flower 2, and then there's another strip for flower 3, then there's centers and the leaves. I have 3 colors of ink here, and I will end up switching my darkest purple for a lighter one, because as I started ink blending, I realized that there was too much of a jump in color. So I started here with the first layer of each of the 3 flowers using Bali Blue Hybrid ink. I love that color blue. And then my second color ink here is Mrs. Periwinkle. And as I'm blending, I realized that there's a big jump between Bali Blue and Mrs. Periwinkle, and I wanted to kind of have these not really realistic flowers because you don't really see flowers in nature where each petal is a different color. So instead of going up to a darker color purple, I actually stepped down backwards and went down to La La Lavender. So my 3 colors I used are Bali Blue, Mrs. Periwinkle, and then La La Lavender. For the centers, I went with a dark blue, so those are dark wash jeans. And then I used Tropical Sea for the leaves to kind of keep with that monochromatic color scheme of my flowers. So again, nothing realistic here about this bouquet of flowers, but I think that's what's great about card making is that it doesn't always have to be real. You can use your imagination and step outside of the box. I went ahead and stamped that same image from the Grand Bouquet 5x7 stamps onto a piece of masking paper. And I'm going to use my scissors just to fussy cut around this image. It was quite easy to do since these lines are pretty straight, and I just needed to do the top part of this image just so that I could mask it off. Again, I'm going for a 1-layer card here so it'll be easy to mail. And I'm going back to that same Bali Blue ink, and I have laid down one of those pattern background stencils, my favorite one, the polka dots, and I am going to just ink blend all over so that I have this dotted pattern from behind the flowers. Now, I didn't want to take the time to cut out all those inner areas in the flower design, so instead I decided to just lay the stencil over and kind of pick which parts of the stencil I wanted to add behind there in those white spaces. I chose some of the smallest dots there and just went in nice and easy with my blending brush and didn't add too much color. Now it's time to take off all that masking strips, and here is my finished 1-layer background panel. Doing this 1-layer design is definitely outside of my comfort zone, but I think that it turned out really pretty. All that's left to do is just stamp a sentiment, so I went back to that Grand Bouquet stamp set, added a sentiment in black in the top right corner, and then I put this onto an A2 card base, and this is finished. You could easily make a whole bunch of these, and since it is a completely flat card, you wouldn't need anything extra for postage, and you wouldn't even need to worry about wondering if it's going to make it to your recipient in one piece. That's it. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye!